As part of this learning series about onboard paint maintenance, we will focus on paint preparation and application. It is assumed that by this stage a paint maintenance plan for the whole vessel has been drawn up, and that any necessary repairs and upgrading to the steel surfaces have been completed. So now let's look at how to prepare the paint and how to apply it. Ensure paint mixing equipment is clean and in good condition. Check serial numbers and other references to ensure that the correct paint has been selected for use. When mixing large quantities, it is best to use a mechanical agitator to mix the paint. It is more efficient, being faster and more thorough, and there is less chance of introducing contaminants. If you are only mixing a very small quantity, it may be easier to just use a stick, but you must check the stick is clean before use, and you will have to mix for longer. It is important to mix paint thoroughly, as some settling of the contents may have taken place if the tin has been on the shelf for some time. Any solids may have moved to the bottom of the tin, so it is important to stir right around the inside bottom edge. Thinning of paint is not usually necessary, as most paints are supplied with the correct amount of solvent already added. After mixing, they will be ready for use. If thinning is required, details will be given in the technical data sheet. Always use the recommended thinner. Component paints are normally supplied with the 2 tins pre-measured for the correct ratio. It is therefore important to use all of the contents of both tins to get the correct mix. Ratios will vary between paints, but a typical ratio for a marine paint is around 4 parts base product mixed with 1 part curing agent. Always consult the technical data sheet for the paint being used. One component or 1 part paint is simple to use. It has everything already added and only needs to be mixed to a smooth, even consistency before application. Or 2 component or 2 part paints have a base and a separate curing agent. Check information on the containers or in the technical data sheet to confirm that you have the correct component B, curing agent, to match the component A, base, being used. Stir the 2 components separately. A smooth, even consistency should be achieved with each. The mechanical agitator should be cleaned between these operations. When ready, mix the 2 components. Always add component B to component A. Do it slowly and continue stirring until you have a smooth, even mixture. When mixing 2 component paint products, there are 2 other important conditions that need to be observed: induction time and pot life. Induction time is the time you must wait after adding the curing agent to the base product before starting to apply the paint. Pot life is the length of time in which a coating can be applied to a surface. Pot life begins when the mixing is complete and ends when the mix is unsuitable for application or has set. Information on both induction time and pot life is given in the product's technical data sheet. Inadequate mixing of the paint, application in poor environmental or atmospheric conditions, poor application technique and the condition of the substrate are all factors that can adversely affect the paint. We will now look at the application of the paint and the factors that affect its success in protecting surfaces on the ship. These are the conditions we need for successful painting. The paint has been properly prepared. The area to be painted has been properly prepared. Painting equipment is ready for use. The prevailing weather conditions are suitable. Health and safety considerations have been addressed. Personnel have been briefed on the work task. There may be additional requirements for specific painting jobs, such as when working at height.